everyone, my name is Emily and this is my very first tutorial. Now you may think to yourselves that teaching you how to draw both smoke and hair in one video is kinda random. The reasoning behind this is that I found a lot of similarities between the ways I draw these two items. Both are very stylized and aren't at all realistic, so if you're looking for ways to draw realistic hair or smoke, I will link 2 awesome videos in the description down below. Let's start with the more unique of the two, smoke. I find that the way I draw smoke is very unique to my style and have only ever seen 1 or 2 other artists do anything remotely similar. I draw inspiration from ancient Japanese scrolls in the way I emphasize the heavy line work. It's a little unusual as smoke is often seen as wispy, weightless, and transparent. Step 1. First start with a long, flowing shape. I typically let my pencil dance down the paper and create a very fluid line. I then repeat this action on the other side and connect the two. Now that you've got something that kind of looks like an alien's intestines, feel free to add pockets of air or sparseness within the shape. You can do this by adding amorphous spheres on each side. You can also add little tails to your shape if you want to create a thinner looking smoke. Step 2. If I ever want the smoke to be folding over or billowing down, I will draw a sort of W shape horizontally through the smoke, avoiding any air pockets. Remember, the air pockets are negative space and should be left alone as you progress. Step 3. I then begin to add long, thin lines running down vertically, making sure to bend with the ebb and flow of the shape. On places we cut through horizontally, remember to almost tuck your vertical lines over and under the W's. This creates dimensional movement in the smoke. The top of the W comes forward while the underside recedes into the background. Also guys, I just noticed this. They look like little butts, so W's, butts, same thing. Little, and they're farting little hair. Oh, why do I find this so funny? Little butts just farting, that's what they look like. Oh my god, I'm fucking 10. Step 4. You could very well call this your finished product if you'd like, but I still feel it needs a bit more dimension. I'm going to add some values with graphite. My rule of thumb is where the smoke is thinnest or where the lines bunch together the closest is where I will add shadow, but this isn't always true. Where the smoke is spread out, I will either add light or in this case, just leave it alone. You can also add bits of white using a gel pen or white ink. And there you have it, how I like to draw smoke. This could also be interpreted as steam or some form of magic. Now on to hair. If you didn't have too much trouble with the smoke, hair should be a cinch. I'll be drawing 4 different styles of hair. Step 1. To start, map out a very general shape to help you decide what you want your hair to look like. This step doesn't have to be very detailed. In fact, I'd say the less detailed, the easier the next few steps will be. I definitely suggest looking up pictures of hairstyles to help guide you. Step 2. Start to add tendrils wherever they feel most appropriate. For example, I'm adding hunks and strands around the fringe and where the hair ends. Sorry. Step 3. This step is done similarly with both graphite and watercolor, but I will do a separate example for both. I then sketch out the lines falling down from either side of the part. The lines, depending on the hair texture, can range from straight to super wavy. I never do actual curly cues for ultra curly hair because they can look a bit crowded and messy. They always kind of remind me of a Pigpen from Peanuts, his big dust cloud, so I just try to avoid curly cues. If you're doing very tight natural curls, I recommend drawing the hair as a singular mass and adding bits and pieces of texture throughout. See the example on my far right. With watercolor, the exact same method is applied, except you will be using the darkest shade of the hair color to draw the indentations in the hair. This is called setting up an underpainting. You might hear some people refer to it as the grisaille method, which technically only refers to an underpainting made with gray. Step 4. Now you can go in with your pencil and begin establishing value by making strokes that follow the pattern of the lines. The base of the stroke should be the darkest and the end should be the lightest. This helps create a gradient that leads to your lightest lights. I've seen so many artists, myself included, just go willy-nilly with highlights on their character's hair. I now try to make them as subtle and as scarce as they would be on real hair. Highlight with caution. Oh my god, whoever the fuck you are, fuck off on your fucking motorcycle! Jesus Christ! I then go back in after my underpainting is dried and make a very similar motion with my brush. Don't be afraid to let a few strokes go completely through the highlight. This helps create depth to the hair and makes it look a little less two-dimensional. Step 5. Like with the final step of drawing smoke, you can go in with a white gel pen or white ink to add any extra pops of light to your highlight. A white gel pen is also a great way to give your character salt and pepper hair. There you have it, everyone. This is how you draw stylized smoking hair. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you enjoyed the format. I was originally going to record both the explanation and the drawing all together, but thought this might be a more concise method. Yes, there was a script, and yes, I know this video was more educational than funny, but I have plenty of more personable videos coming for y'all in the future. If you haven't already, it would warm the cockles of my heart if you hit that subscribe button and joined our fucked up little family. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to stay out of trouble. See you guys later.